In this corner, the culture. In the other, the truth. Let's get ready to rewind the chaos. Because what went down in Toronto wasn't just another concert. It was a funeral with stadium speakers. This wasn't Kendrick Lamar simply performing. This was Kendrick showing up to Drake's front lawn, planting a flag in the grass, and then setting it on fire. But before we break down how Kung Fu Kenny spun the Six into a stadium-sized mosh pit of betrayal, disses, and Canadian chaos, tap like and smash, subscribe. It's free, it's fast, and it tells the algorithm you don't play defense for clout rappers ducking diss tracks. Now let's rewind. It was the night before Kendrick's GNX show in Toronto. In the city Drake built his entire image around. Champagne Pappy's Castle, the OVO Embassy. The place where every teen with a heartbroken caption thinks Drake is the mayor. And Kendrick Lamar? He flew in like the ghost of battle rap future. Now here's the thing. Drake knew Kendrick was coming, and he did everything in his power to distract fans from it. It was like watching a prom king trying to throw glitter over a crime scene. Drake's team, aka the OVO Command Squad, cooked up a counter-concert. A fan meetup outside the same Rogers Center Kendrick was performing in. Their plan? Blast nothing but Drake music outside the arena. Hold signs, wear merch, hand out free hoodies, pizza too. It was basically a pity party disguised as a pride parade. They told fans, pull up with speakers, show love to the Six God, remind the world who runs the city. Yeah. About that, the event flopped harder than Drake's Jamaican accent phase. Barely anyone showed up. And just hours before Kendrick hit the stage, organizers canceled with a logistical issues excuse. More like, nobody pulled up except the free pizza guy. But the distractions didn't stop there. Drake also announced he'd be doing a live stream with Cenat on the same night Kendrick was performing. Bro really said, you diss me? I'm getting on Twitch. Even Kai had to walk it back. The live stream turned into a Discord call.
Let me go ahead and say something real quick so y'all won't be confused. When Drake and I are doing it, he will call in. He's calling in through the cord, so it won't be in person. We're saving the in-person for another crazier stream. Alright? Okay? So that's gonna be over the call. So this is a music video. It's not an official like stream Kayak's Drake crazy stream. No, we gotta chat. We have to do it correctly. You feel what I'm saying? So we're making it for, it's more about the people that's submitting it than us. You feel me? So we want y'all to go through the process of seeing the music video. So chat, whenever we do crossover on a live aspect, I will let y'all know though.
Then they canceled altogether. We need more time to review submissions for our music video contest, they said. Translation? Drake was too shook to stream. While Kendrick was moving crowds, Drake was moving goalposts. Now here's where it gets wild. DJ Academics, the instigator-in-chief, admitted on stream that he told Drake to pull a big act and crash Kendrick's concert.
I was set to go to Toronto, but actually I even told Drake I was coming to Toronto. I'm like, yo, I'm coming through. Yo, me and Drake talked yesterday. You know, I told that to Drake. I said, Drake, if you like that, I said, you see how Big Act popped up at the show? You pop up at the show. I'm an instigator.
Yes, Ack wanted Drake to show up in person, off the Henny, and start chaos in real time. But the real bombshell? Ack said Drake told him that 2 cars had been parked on his block for days. Security was watching the neighborhood, keeping tabs. The OVO Embassy was on lockdown. Why? Because Kendrick was in town, and no one knew how wild it might get.
You know what happened? Nah, I don't even want to tell that part. So I told Drake, I said, Drake, you see how I said you gotta do your big act. Pop up and show. They ain't your city. Pop up. You know what he told me? He said, yo, Act, they've had 2 cars on my block since 2 days ago. Since they know this is coming here. So somebody say I'm cap. Y'all never believe nothing. I tell y'all the truth. Y'all be like, you're lying. I tell y'all what y'all want to hear. He's telling the truth. Why do y'all even listen to me?
And honestly, that wasn't paranoia. It was precaution. Drake's inner circle was already acting reckless. Aiden Ross, the unofficial hypebeast court jester, was talking wild on stream, taunting LA crews and threatening lawsuits if anyone touched him. Top 5, Drake's self-proclaimed shooter, had just gotten out of jail and was flexing his return like a WWE villain promo. And this dude? He tried to break into Kendrick's hotel. Yeah. Top 5 pulled up to the Newell Hotel in Toronto. 2. A luxury spot where Kendrick was allegedly staying and live-streamed himself trying to get in.
Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man even cut everything off. Man bought everything. He's a bitch.
Doors locked, security tight, all because of him. This is the energy that surrounded Kendrick's arrival. And despite all that, Kendrick still showed up, still stepped on stage, still performed, not like us. And Toronto? Toronto lost their damn minds. Now, before we show you just how loud Toronto got, let's flash back real quick. Last time Kendrick performed in Toronto, it was during the Mr. Morale, The Big Steppers tour. And guess who showed up to that one? Drake. Yeah. Back when things were cool, Champagne Papi was posted up in a private skybox, low-key watching the man he'd later go to lyrical war with.
Drake was spotted at Kendrick Lamar's Toronto tour stop on Friday, August 12th, despite any of their rumored beef. There was video of Drake watching from a skybox at the Scotiabank Arena, and it started making its rounds over the weekend after the Big Steppers tour made its Canadian debut.
Fast forward to now. Different vibe entirely. This time, Drake didn't pull up. But you know who did? Alchemist. The legendary producer behind Meet the Grams teased he might appear, and he did. Just didn't perform. Still, knowing he was in the building, that added a whole extra layer of tension. Meanwhile, StubHub tweeted, literally hours before showtime, that demand for Kendrick's Toronto show had spiked. It had officially become one of the top 5 best-selling stops on the entire GNX tour. So much for the OVO conspiracy theories about Kendrick flopping. But wait, we're not done with the antics. While Kendrick was setting the stage ablaze, Drake dropped a new song in a Toronto accent. And guess what the bars sounded like? I'm in Barrie, Mascoa, and Beampton, Croy, F. Hollywood, and the Hamptons. Translation? F the West Coast. Drake really dissed an entire coast from the safety of a studio booth, while Kendrick was lighting up his hometown. Even funnier, the dude who's been acting like Kendrick's attack dog, Top 5, actually linked up with Kanye West, who gifted him a Nazi mustache chain. Yup. The guy who says he's Drake's shooter, and who Drake took a photo with after he got out of jail for attempted murder, is now running around with a Nazi-inspired chain, while Drake, who is Jewish, pretends not to see it. You can't write this stuff. Top 5 went on Livestream saying, Kendrick can't come to Toronto without checking in with him. Bro, Kendrick not only came, he turned the Rogers Center into the Thunderdome. And Top 5 couldn't even get through the front door. He tried to break into Kendrick's hotel. He live-streamed it like a villain in a Scooby-Doo episode. The doors were locked, the guards posted up. Man really thought he could scare the Pulitzer Prince into canceling a show? Nah. Kendrick wasn't running from anybody. Meanwhile, Kendrick fans were celebrating like the Raptors won another chip. At New Ho King, the Toronto restaurant Kendrick shouted out in euphoria, they threw an official after party. Kendrick fans flooded the spot. Drinks were on the house. Fried rice, blammy, dip sauce, legendary. OVOs had canceled their pizza party outside the stadium. Kendrick's fans, they threw a whole festival in a restaurant. Now let's talk visuals. When Kendrick hit the stage, the energy was unreal. Look at this crowd.
See, Toronto ain't motherfucking playing tonight, man. Section 8, we had this motherfucker cracking. Good Kid, Man City, we came out this motherfucker, y'all was cracking. Damn, Mr. Morale. Now we right here, GNX motherfucker tour, and we gonna turn this motherfucker all the way up, you hear me? See a lot of faces, some of y'all go all the way back to 2011. So we're gonna make sure we cater to them, make sure I do my day going to the house tonight, make sure we show a whole lot of motherfucking love. But if you are new to these festivities, sit back and watch me, guys. Follow me. I done grew around some people living a life in bottles, granddaddy had them golden glass, back from giving a shit paddles. Some people like the way it feel. They want to kill themselves. They want to fit in with the popular. That was my problem. I was in the dark. Now, looking to make a bounce. That would get fucked up and then up my cup. The crowd changing by the minute. And a record on repeat. Took a sip and another sip. And Toronto said, come on.
You could feel the floorboard shaking through your screen. People were shoulder to shoulder, screaming every word. And then Kendrick grabbed the mic and took us back. He gave a heartfelt speech to Toronto, talked about how the first time he came to the city was in 2011, said some of the faces in the crowd had been with him since day one. Others were new, but they were all about to witness history. Then, a cappella, he dove into swimming pools. The crowd erupted. You could barely hear his voice over the sea of phones and screams. This wasn't a concert, it was a coronation. And right when you thought the night had peaked, he dropped the bomb. Not like us, live. In Toronto, Drake's hometown, Kendrick stood center stage. And the crowd? They went nuclear. Chants echoed through the arena. One more time, one more time. And here is where crowds were shouting, "One more time!" from a different angle. And from another angle. He didn't even need to say anything. The music said it all. Pure pressure. No gimmicks. No Twitch streams. Just energy. Raw. Electric. Undeniable. The stadium wasn't just packed. It was possessed. People weren't just vibing. They were testifying. And when Kendrick performed Not Like Us, it felt like the air ripped open. You could see it in every single face. They didn't just want the song. They needed it. Like therapy. Like revenge. Like it was the soundtrack to the betrayal they didn't know they felt until that beat dropped. And right after, they begged for an encore. One more time, one more time. From the floor to the nosebleeds, they were united in one plea. Run it back. It was the loudest crowd of the entire GNX tour so far. Hands down. StubHub's metrics didn't lie, and neither did the stadium walls. That place was rocking. Now hold up. Let's talk about SZA. She came out singing Love over Kendrick's track and stole the moment. Her vocals floated over the crowd like silk, and Kendrick just stood beside her smiling. It felt like the most peaceful flex in the middle of a lyrical war zone. Honestly, drop an official remix. Already. It's criminal we don't have it. And what did Drake do while this was happening? He released another Toronto accented track. A freestyle where he rapped, "I'm from Barrie, Mascoa and Beampton, Croy F. Hollywood and the Hamptons." Translation? Hey, West Coast, hold this L. But here's the problem. He dropped it while Kendrick was physically stomping on his turf. It felt like watching a dude yell, "I'm not scared," from behind a locked door. And now, let's talk security. According to fans living next to the venue, this wasn't a regular concert vibe. Multiple ambulances parked out front, heavy police presence, a literal line of officers standing formation outside the Rogers Center. Taylor Swift did 6 shows at that same venue and didn't get that kind of security. This was different. This was war.
Okay guys, if you're from Toronto, you know that Kendrick and SZA are performing tonight, and I live right next to the stadium, and I'm gonna show you what I see here, because I didn't even see this during the Taylor Swift concert. Like for the entire 6 nights, I didn't see this, but there's literally, like, I counted 3, there might be more, 3 paramedic vans like parked right outside the stadium. So 1 second. So that is one of them, and then right here you're gonna see another one. I'm trying to zoom in here and you can make out the word ambulance. And then if you look down the road there's like a line of, I don't know if there's security or cops or what they are, but they're just standing on the street in this line formation. I don't know why. And like, just to show you, this is the stadium, the Rogers Center here in Toronto. And so like, that's outside my window, like the cop cars, and that's one of the paramedics that I showed you. And all these these vans are Kendrick's like equipment and whatever, and Taylor had the exact same amount. Like the full parking lot was like full of these huge trucks there. But I just think having the paramedics is super sus, and having that line of like security or cops or whatever they were is also very weird.
There were even reports that Kendrick left the country right after his performance, escorted by a 25-car motorcade, only to fly back the next day for the second Toronto show. People called it soft. But nah, that's called being smart. When you've got Drake's people, like Top 5, banging on your hotel doors, and internet goons trying to bait you into drama, flying out for the night sounds like proper king behavior. And the next day, night 2 sold out. Before the show even started, Toronto didn't just forgive Kendrick for dissing their hometown hero. They crowned him for it. Back at New Ho King, Kendrick fans partied again, chanting "Not Like Us" in the same streets Drake once owned. If you walk past the restaurant, you'd swear Kendrick was born in Scarborough. One fan even held a sign inside the venue that read, "Your middle name is Aubrey?" Bro, they had jokes. Even the haters had to admit it. Okay, the show was loud, but Toronto is a big city, so of course it's gonna be loud. Oh, now we're blaming population density? Come on! At this point, the excuses are reaching Drake Barr's levels of denial. And then came the final insult. Drake fans outside the stadium yelling, "You can't come to our city and do this!" But the problem? Kendrick already did. Twice.
Yo, bro, why are you here?
What's up?
Why are you here?
I'm here to prove that hometown Drizzy, Drake, Champagne, Poppy 6 got to go. Hey, Kendrick ain't coming to my city. Kendrick coming to our city and doing this. You can't.
Are you from Toronto? Are you from Toronto or no?
I should be looking at.
If you're from Toronto, you know what Drake has done for the city. Drake has put on the city more than Kendrick's ever done anything for Compton his entire life. That's how Drake works.
And he didn't just survive, he got standing ovations. Let's pause and really soak this in. Kendrick Lamar, the man who supposedly couldn't survive in the 6, who was banned by YouTube thugs in tank tops and $10 chains, didn't just step foot in Toronto. He owned it. The narrative that Kendrick was going to flop? Gone. Obliterated. Vaporized by the screams of 50,000 fans singing diss tracks word for word in Drake's own backyard. Top 5 said Kendrick couldn't walk the streets? Kendrick flew in, turned the streets into a parade, and left with the crown. Academics said Kendrick was too scared to perform Not Like Us. He performed it with such venom, the arena begged for an encore. Drake said he runs the city? Kendrick threw a party in one of Toronto's most iconic restaurants, and the owner named a dish after him. What more needs to be said? Even the crowd chants told the story. When Kendrick shouted, "F the big 3," The audience clapped back with, "It's just Big Me." The pettiness? Surgical. The timing? Flawless. The disrespect? Hall of Fame. And what about the streamer era Drake tried to launch? It's wild. Kendrick dissed this man into becoming a full-time content creator. We're now in a world where Drake is canceling live streams, reviewing video submissions on Discord, and rapping in different accents, while Kendrick's out here collecting stadium screams like Infinity Stones. That's not just dominance, that's cultural closure. Oh, and did we mention the alleged crowd sighting? LeBron James. Yes, the LeBron was reportedly in attendance. Now, that part hasn't been confirmed officially, but if true, it's poetic. The King watching the other King take a victory lap inside the six. We saw it happen with Meek Mill. We saw it almost happen with Pusha T. But Kendrick? Kendrick didn't just beat Drake lyrically. He beat him locally. He beat him physically. He turned a concert into a movement, a city into a stage, and his name into a legend etched across Canada's hip-hop timeline. So, what happens next? Drake's silence? Deafening. Kendrick's dominance? Undeniable. And fans? They're asking the real questions now. Is Drake done with music beefs? Is Kendrick prepping another wave? Will there be another diss round? Or did Kendrick just checkmate the whole genre? Either way, this ain't over. So hit like if you watch history happen. Smash subscribe if you're riding with the truth. Because we've got more music series fire loading up, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. Next up, we're digging into how Lil Wayne's loyalty nearly sank his entire career and what it cost him to stay silent during the Kendrick-Drake war. You don't want to miss that. Let us know in the comments. Was this the moment Drake lost the war? Or is the Six plotting something bigger? Drop your take, rep your city, and keep that same energy for part 2. Because in this rap saga, we study battles for a living.